This is a really big fear of mine. Happy Friday, good afternoon. I'm not going to be on here long, but I just wanted to say, as I'm over here thinking and reflecting on this past retrograde season, and I'm typically not one, hey, how you doing? I'm typically not one to, be a part of the whole retrograde, this and that, but this past planetary alignment has had me shifting back and forward and backwards, honey. And I just want to say that as I was taking, introspection and assessing my life and how I really need to grow and develop, it is my greatest fear to be old and be complacent. Do not allow anyone, do not even give yourself the leeway, the gateway, the permission to be stagnant or complacent just because you are getting older. Somebody called me a fairy this morning, and typically I would get offended because I'm like, listen, I'm almost 40. I'm a woman now. I don't know what you mean by that. But that really, really touched me in a very grandiose way because I am a unicorn. I am a fairy. And for somebody to see the elements of creativity in me and youthfulness and being this, sexy vixen, half shy girl sometimes, it really was inspirational to me to never, ever get old, to never apologize for being adaptable to change and with change. And I just wanted to encourage you out there, or even to support you in your thinking as you're making your own life shifts, whether or not that had anything to do with the retrograde, to continue to inspire yourself to go after something new and different all the time. I get so tired of being around people that do the same thing all the time. Like, they've been doing it for 15 and 20 years, and I get it. Familiarity is a comfort source. Familiarity is a way of self-soothing, and I get it. Who wants to go out of there, break out of their comfort zone and do something that is challenging simply because it's new, simply because you don't know how it functions and operates? No matter what you're doing and what decision you are making in life, always be open to the risk that there is a greater opportunity that is available to you and for you, simply because it is something new and it is something unknown. Do you know the greatest mysteries in life reveal themselves when you just start to be like the fool on the tarot card and you begin to just walk aimlessly into the unknown? You get to refreshen your spirit and energize your soul by saying, I want to take on the risk and the challenge of making myself new by broadening and expanding how I feel about myself, how I see myself, and how life gets to interact with me. One of the greater things that I've learned in my own personal endeavors in the past 2 years is to not give life the permission to deal with me. Like, you don't get to just handle me any type of way. I want to deal with you. It is a pleasure. It is a gift. This is how I speak to life. Like, I'm very interactive with all things ethereal. And I say, we're in partnership. So don't just think you're just going to hand me over like some rag doll. You know what I mean? Get really confrontational with life. This is why having intuitive nature expressed is very important. This is why prayer is so important. This is why meditation is important, because you get to tap into your God source and say, this is what I want for my life. This is not what I want for my life. This is a non-negotiable. This is what I'm going to tolerate. This is what I'm not going to tolerate. And what I've learned, especially growing up in the church and growing up in ministry, and I'm not bashing the church at all, but what I've learned is that we make ourselves submissive into guilt because we believe that we have to continue to take what life gives us, and we get so used to and accustomed to turning the other cheek that we are literally beating ourselves up. We are beating our souls down, and that's not what your experience should be. You should be in charge of some element of your life. Now, you may have come here with a particular theme, right? There may be a lesson that God, the creator, The architect, the orchestrator may be trying to use your life and your lessons for not only to teach yourself but to your bloodline, but to be some sort of example of something for someone or a group of people. But at the end of the day, you should take liberty in how you experience life. And this is from someone who has spent a lot of years as a medical recluse, as someone who has, had to break certain mental issues, right? And come into myself and find my voice and be a late bloomer late in my life. And I mean like after 30. You do not have to be or remain victimized by certain circumstances just because it was given to you, or it is the onset of the experience that you are now finding yourself trying to navigate. So I just wanted to share that with you. Don't let age dictate to you that you cannot find ways to have fun and be liberated within your soul. And in fact, it is that childlike nature. A lot of us have inner child trauma where, the trauma or the injuries of our childhood and our pathologies and our broken homes have really suppressed what it's like to be a free soul. And now we are finding, especially with these retrogrades and these seasonal shifts and just how the elements of life are just conducting themselves, that we don't have to live in that suffrage much longer. That it just takes a decision to want to be free, and you have to follow the steps and measures of that decision to actually be free. But yeah, let your inner child just fly or dance or whatever they do. I don't know what your inner child, do you know what your inner child does? Do you know what your inner child wants to do, longs to do? Maybe it's finally take that piano lesson or go to a rock and roll concert. What is the element that's going to liberate you to say, I don't want to remain the same? I do not want my life to be conditional upon the patterns that has always made me this way. You can say, this is like, you can disrupt your cycle. You can say enough is enough. You can say, I no longer want to do this. You can say, I want control. You can say, I no longer want to be friends with. I no longer want to be associated with. It's going to be hard. It's going to be challenging. But when you take that autonomy back from life and say, hold up, there is something that I actually want to say. There is actually something that I want to do that is very, very different from how I've been experiencing life. You will see the gateways open for you. You know what I mean? And again, it's not like it's not going to be challenging. I'm not going to tell you it's not. It's not like you are, going to just have this free-flowing essence of ease that welcomes you into embrace. That's not what's going to happen. As a matter of fact, we all have soul ties with our experiences and the habits, the habitual lifestyle that we create daily. But when you break them, when you realize that you can identify the habits that have put you in the position that you're in, then you can make the steps necessary to have full autonomy and sovereignty over your life. And that was literally a thought that I was just thinking. I like that I don't ever want to be bound by conditions or age or the proximity of someone thinking or assuming they know me. I take it as a compliment that people know that I will forever not be imprisoned in what they have for me, that my perspective changes, that I value that as I get older, I can make more sound decisions rooted in a healthy emotional state. That took a lot of work. That took a lot of transparency and confessions and shadow work and all the things. However, when you are committed to your outcome being of a certain level or reflection of success that you want it to be, then you can obtain that. You can access that readily and make it available on demand when you choose to just click over, when you choose to transfer into your elevated state of being. So yeah, make a decision today, this Friday, or any day you're watching this, at any moment. My prayer for you is that you would never, ever, ever commit to being conditional based off of your age, who you know and who knows you, and where you currently are in your life. My name is Sekhmet L. I am your soul conscious coach. Your wellness strategist, learning and redefining my own self. Baby, you know what's next for me? I am going into, so I'm getting new hair and I'm going to change my hair color, but I'm going into what I'm calling my rock and roll era. The spirit of Tina Turner and Grace Jones have hit me simultaneously this past week. When I tell you I'm ready to up the ante, to amplify my energy, that is definitely what is new and next for me. And you know, that type of frequency shift and change comes with there being a disregard for other people's opinions, a detachment from other people's belief systems so that I can nurture my own, and also me detouring any plans that seem to be rigid and locked into, again, any phase of development I'm in. So as you are continuing to make decisions to heighten your own life, keep in mind that wherever there is change, that's where the Spirit of God is. You know, and one of my favorite, I don't know if it's a scripture or just a saying, is that where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Wherever there is liberty, God is sure to follow. And wherever God is, liberty instantaneously is there. So live in your divinity. Choose to be an expression of that divinity and continue to choose to elevate. That made me happy. I hope that makes you happy, that you can choose you. If I can support you in any type of way right now, I think I'm only offering intuitive readings. But if I can support you, definitely go to the link in my bio. If you're watching this and you're watching the replay, let me know that you're watching the replay. Let me know what decisions that you're going to make to enhance yourself. I'm all about self-mastery and finding the light that God really created you with so that you can shine and not shrink and continue to be that effortless glow of destiny that you are. Make sure you get your, Divine Downloads journal. I'm getting better at saying my offerings at the end of videos because I usually just log off, but you can definitely go to my Linktree, which is linktr.ee/soulandshe. Find out about my offerings there. I'm getting better at this, but I just wanted to encourage you with that thought that I had to live free, live you. And whether that's bold or courageous or different, that's not for you to determine. That's for other people to see you living your liberty as. Have a great weekend, and I'll tune back in. If you need anything, my DMs are open. I appreciate you, and you have a good one. Okay, I'm never getting this. Y'all.